A lot of energy, a lot of focus.
Oh, yeah. Full of it today.
And we're live.
Wisdom and discernment. That's what I'm
We
for.
are live.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, good. Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer with you. Hey, buddy.
What up?
How you doing?
Cold coffee is just so much better than hot coffee. Like, I wish we could all just.
I feel like you say this every time we're on now.
No, I
like, this
complained
is like
about
two
the
pods
cup.
in a row.
I complained about the cup.
Yeah, but
on
then
the
you
hot
got
coffee.
into how you like cold more than
Right.
hot.
I just. Look,
I generally agree. If
I don't like that it's 80 again,
but when it's cold out, I do think hot coffee is the move.
it's more of a vibe. But it's not. It's not as good though.
I think it's as good. It's just it's all what you need in a moment.
Also, like, can I make a comment without everybody like
Aren't
flipping
you also
out?
real quick,
Actually,
quick,
never.
just to go back? Oh no, we can't. We gotta get
All
on
right.
that.
Yeah.
But real quick, you did once upon a time say that people only drank coffee to look cool.
Well, that is true.
So you have not changed that fact.
I mean, I do enjoy it.
So
also
what
for
does
the
it even?
caffeine.
I was gonna say.
now.
So what does it even matter if it's hot or cold to you?
Well, it looks cooler. Well, I think it looks equally cool to carry both.
Yeah.
I think
So you know.
Look,
So what were you gonna say to make people angry?
if everyone all right, obviously global warming is a major
Oh
issue.
god.
Like, okay.
All right, maybe you shouldn't have said.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it does suck that we're almost November and it still isn't really hoodie
Yeah.
season.
No.
You
I
know,
I know.
it's going away.
You were ready for hoodie season.
I was ready to
a
go.
month and a
It
half
was like
ago.
in the 40s, the 50s, and now it's like in the 80s again.
Now I will say, and
I don't know how to dress.
I gave you some crap for this when you said it. You were like, "I'm declaring it hoodie season. I'm wearing hoodies."
Yeah. It's too hot.
But you're not wearing the hoodies.
I know. I have the jacket on, but it's just too hot.
It's kind of on you.
It is.
Could
I
wear
declared
the
it too
hoodies.
early, but it just sucks that hoodie season is basically now going to be 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It'll be like
Well, hold on.
the last week of October.
You don't wear hoodies in winter?
Well, you wear jackets too. It's not just hoodies.
Okay.
Yeah. So, just an important distinction.
You seem very down right now.
No, I'm actually having a really good day, but it's just
Okay.
I do wish that it could just be regular hoodie season.
Okay.
And I'm sure a lot of people agree with me out there. Summer clothes, I'm done with them. I'm ready just to have a hoodie on.
Sure.
A nice jacket. I do
Sure.
have a jacket on now.
I'm not a big jacket guy. See, I
Well,
prefer.
you have a sports coat on.
I
right
do,
now.
not by choice,
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
function. I have to go to a function.
Yeah.
Yes. Sports coat.
It'll be fun.
Sure.
Can plug Go Birds.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, sure. Hey, everybody.
Exactly.
Listen to Go Birds. It's a great podcast.
So I have a
I should
question.
do that more. Just walk into places and just be like, "Hey, everybody."
Big Go Bird shirt.
Yeah, just
I
check
was
out my
actually in the Eagles pro shop yesterday
Mhm.
getting something for Kristen. And they do have a nice hat that just says straight up Go Birds.
podcast. Really?
And it's not too dissimilar from our font.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't think it's
Copyright?
copywriting, but I think if we
should get a portion of what they sell it.
or they should give it to us, give the fans.
If
or
nothing
something.
else,
Yeah.
a minimum.
It was a pretty sweet hat,
Yeah.
and it looked exactly like the pod logo.
Wow.
Yeah. Now the Go was in front and not on the top. That was the main difference.
Mhm. Which is fine.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not the thing to make people mad. The global warming thing.
No, right, exactly. Yeah, that was the one where I
I
didn't
don't think
know.
how's that going to make people mad?
I don't know. We don't have to keep going into it.
I just don't think it's that.
I have a question for you though.
Oh, good.
So, as I've said often, I feel like there's not many people in the city that interact with more fans than you do.
True. Yeah.
So we're now 3 days into the week.
Mhm.
Do you feel like Eagles fans feel better?
It's a great question. Better, yes.
Yeah.
Good, no.
No. All
Like
right.
I think the vast majority of Eagles fans right now believe that this is somewhere between an average and a good team. And I think a lot of people think they're average and a lot of people think they're good. I don't think people are in.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think there's still a lot of questions. I think the Jalen thing is still up in the air for people. And look, there are a lot, and fairly so. I feel better than I did 2 weeks ago, but I can also step back and say they beat probably two of the 5 to 10 worst teams in football. Certainly the Browns being one of the worst. And the Giants, honestly, you said on the pod, and I kind of poo-pooed it. When you step back, they probably are one of the 5 worst teams. In football.
I think they're definitely one of the
Yeah,
worst. I mean, I do think one difference is when looking at these last 2 games, they did play 2 good defenses.
If nothing else,
maybe
solid.
not. Yeah, right. So
The
I think
defenses are the best parts of those.
yes,
two teams.
I think you look at it 2 different ways. You can look at it holistically.
Maybe not take look at it defense and offense.
Exactly,
Say
that's
the
what I'm
defensive
saying.
performance maybe not quite as impressive as we hope it is. No touchdowns. Look, it's hard to give up no touchdowns in any game.
Yes.
And all that, but maybe you're saying be a little more impressed with the offense.
Yeah, I think for sure. Like, I think you have to view it two different ways, but also holistically. And I don't remember if we talked about this in the post-game pod, but I was
Probably
thinking,
not. We only have 20 minutes.
right. I was thinking about it a lot on the drive home from MetLife. I think this past Sunday was the first time in a long time I feel like this team showed special qualities. Like,
No, we didn't. You didn't really talk about
yeah,
that.
I think that this really, really could have
So
been.
explain, because I felt like it was a nice win.
No,
They did a good job. They beat them. They handled business. They won by 25 points. It was never in question. But I never looked at the Eagles on Sunday and thought like, oh, they look special.
So maybe this is a benefit of being down there, but it just feels a little bit like everybody is taking a bit of a deep breath of like, okay, we got the big win. It felt like that in the locker room. They have 2 wins in a row. They haven't won back-to-back games in almost a year.
Wow, I hadn't thought about. I mean, we talked about them.
Yeah.
It'd been Joe brought up on the radio 363 days since that Dolphins win.
Right.
So it'd have been 363 days since they won by more than a
I think
touchdown.
it was the Chiefs and the Bills were the last time they won back-to-back games.
That's wild. Yeah,
Right.
another great point.
Now, the funny thing about that phrasing is they also didn't play 80% of the last
That's
year.
true.
But
Yeah,
still,
good
like,
point,
regardless,
good point.
like, they, even last year, if you remember, they beat the Giants. I think it was here, actually, ironically. And
lost Arizona.
Yeah, but so they never have been able to get anything going.
Yeah.
And to me, it feels like I think they're starting to like believe that they're getting out of this a little bit. Like back-to-back wins. Jalen's played good back-to-back games. The defense is playing good. They put together probably their cleanest football game in a really long time. I just, it's been so long since this team had any momentum or any type of reason, like real thing to believe on. I mean, you get this a lot, obviously, because you guys have Kelsey on every week last year and every week this year. And I interact with players a lot, but also I do the Players Lounge with Jordan Mailata, right? And Landon Dickerson and whoever shows up that week. But a lot of the last year has been, we got to put it together. We got to put it together. Like we see we're making mistakes, but we feel like they're fixable. The last 2 weeks feel like they've kind of fixed them for the first time in a long time. And I know 2 games isn't the largest sample size, and obviously opponents aren't great. But to be honest, like I don't really need to see them beat great teams. I think it's beneficial, but I think a lot of the Eagles' flaws have been somewhat self-inflicted over the last year. And so just seeing them fix their own mistakes, and I know it's easier to do against a bad team than a good team, obviously. But just seeing them play good football back-to-back weeks, I think it just is the first time in a long time I felt like there is light at the end of the tunnel of like this terrible stretch.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. And I think this Sunday is a really big one, I think, for the fan base, for the initial point you made in that, it would be 3 straight. It would be against a really good quarterback, whatever we think of the Bengals as a team.
Joe Burrow's been way better this year than.
Dude, he's been really good. I wasn't expecting
looking at
the
his
risk
stats.
thing. Yeah, he's had some really good games.
If you look at his accuracy stats, according to Pro Football Reference, he's 78% of his throws are on target.
Wow.
Needless to say, Daniel Jones and Deshaun Watson not as on target.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I think a little different. But yeah, I mean, if you look, I think he's 9th in the league in getting rid of it quickly. So like that's a problem this week.
I mean, he is easily the best quarterback they've faced since Jordan Love. And he's
I think he's way better than Jordan Love.
I think Jordan Love is has the potential to be really good, but Joe Burrow's a better quarterback.
So he has 3 turnover-worthy plays in 256 dropbacks.
Wow.
So
by the way, that is something we haven't talked about at all with the Eagles, and I want to get into it. But the fact that as good as the defense has been, they've only forced two turnovers, all 2 Reed Blankenship interceptions, and that's it.
Now they have come close to a few more, but even if Quinion catches the ones, that's only 3 more.
I know.
Like that's still only 5 in 6 games, which I guess is pretty decent,
that would be okay.
It's not like a special number or anything like that. But I do think that this weekend, for me, like I don't think they have to win it this weekend. I think if they go to Cincinnati and they compete and they play well and the game is close, but they lose, like I'm okay with that. I think this weekend is about not like just torpedoing all the momentum that they've gotten. Like I think they took a step forward from the bye week to the Browns game. And then I think from the Browns game, they took a step forward from that to the Giants game. I think there's a world where they can take a step forward this week, go to Cincinnati, compete against, like the Bengals have only lost to the Commanders, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. So
they have 4 losses.
No, I think they're
definitely 3 and 4.
Like maybe I wrote, let me get it in my notes. I could be wrong about that, obviously, but I have them losing to the Chiefs, Commanders, and Baltimore, beating the Panthers, Giants, and Browns.
Well, they're 3 and 4, so they're missing a game in there.
So I'm missing a game in there.
I'll look it up while you talk.
But regardless, like Chiefs, Commanders, and Baltimore, there's no shame in losing to any three of those teams. So I think that while
lost to the Patriots.
they lost, okay, that was a bad loss. Yeah,
was that week 1, right?
Yeah, it was week 1. That was a bad loss. But I think like the Bengals are better than their record, no matter how you slice it. Now they find ways to lose games, but I think you can go down to Cincinnati or over to Cincinnati and play a good game and lose and still feel confident leaving.
I agree. Look, we went into these, they've done 2 of them, but we said the 4-game stretch of the Giants, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Jags, they have to win 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's what we said coming into it. We're like,
right. So you lose this one, then you beat
they could still go 3 and 4 pretty easily. I agree with you holistically. And look, overall with what you're saying, I obviously agree. I mean, I've Mr. Preseason,
right?
The first
2-0 since the season began.
Yeah, but I believe in that.
I know you also do, yeah. Believe in. Apparently, the Eagles do too.
And I've talked about this a million times too. I believe in teams gaining confidence and how important that is, and in this sport more than others, and believing you can go out and you're better than the guy in front of you, and all that stuff. And winning breeds that stuff. So I do think there is a world where this team, puts it together and goes on a run, and we see the flashes of the talent now. Jalen, and I want to get to the Jalen question you asked. I do think that's a really important thing. We talked about before the pod.
Right.
But I do think there's a world where, this is the beginning of them. They might lose along the way, but where they become a good team. Like that is absolutely possible.
And I think too that it can't be overstated for me enough personally how much I feel like they dodged a bullet. Like me and you were recording this pod when they were 1-1. And I felt like it was.
You were out.
I just felt it was like the ice was not only thin, like it was going to crack. Like they had to go to New Orleans and Tampa. And I thought they would lose both those games. And neither was like a super impressive performance overall. But to get through what they've gone through and to be 4-2, I just think it's super impressive. Like it doesn't mean it's been fun to watch.
Super impressive.
But think about, just think about.
But I mean, again, like the you can't say super impressive when they just beat the Browns and the Giants.
Well, but no, but hold on. What if I would have told you before the season that they were going to Brazil, right? They were going to face a 2-0 Saints team. They were going to miss AJ for three of the 6 games. They were going to miss Devontae, AJ, and Lane all in one game. What do you think and that Jalen would have major turnover problems?
Again,
like, what do you think their record would be?
4-2.
You think they'd be 4-2?
I would think 3-3 or 4-2 is what
interesting.
I would think.
I feel like I would think 2-4.
I wouldn't have thought the 2-0 Saints team wouldn't have scared me. I don't care if you told me they were 2-0. Now, if you told me they scored 92 points,
well, that's right. That's
like even then, I get your point, and I said it at the last part. I think when you think about the fact that they're 4-2 after all that's happened is good. Like
I think it's impressive.
I can't go impressive, like because it hasn't looked impressive.
It hasn't looked impressive, but the results are the results. And to your point about the preseason being the first 4 games, like yes, I think the Atlanta game they should have won that game. Now, but you could argue the Saints game they should have lost that one. So I think it evens out. But the point I'm making is, I feel like they got through something. I feel like they pushed their way through a tough stretch.
I'm just pushing back on impressive. Like I can't give them impressive when they were 2-2 and then they beat the Browns and the Giants. And I'm not going to go.
But I don't think anyone thought they would definitely win both those 2 games.
It's a semantics thing.
It is a semantics thing.
I think you're going too far by saying I'm impressed by this.
So we can debate over the word impressive. I'm more just saying I think they got through something.
I don't know that they
in
definitely
a decent
did.
way.
I think that if they did, I think it's possible that they got through something. I think we still need to see more because it was just a week ago,
right,
that we were freaking out about the coach and that all that stuff. Like it was 1 week ago,
right,
and they won against the Browns by 4 points.
Right.
Now, a win against the Giants, a big win, really helps, and it starts putting us in that direction. I'm just not ready to take that leap and say they're definitely through it, but they could be. They could have, if they can continue to move forward, then they clearly.
Yeah,
there was definitely a moment where it looked like it was going to go back.
That's what I'm saying. It just feels like to me this could have gone so much worse.
Lose to the Bengals and
they could
lose again.
And then you're 4-3, right?
And then it's a disaster again.
For sure.
You know?
It could turn that way.
Yeah.
But it just, to me, feels like they took a lot of punches the first 6 weeks of the season. Like the roster did from an injury perspective. The schedule the first 6 weeks didn't end up being super forgiving. Like we can debate if it was a hard one, but it wasn't an easy schedule, I don't think. And like they've been ripped. And I'll obviously include myself in this as part of the media. Like they have been under an intense amount of scrutiny. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Like Nick, Jalen, the team, booed at home. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying the reality is
earned it.
Yeah. But they could earn it, but it still is hard to go through. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
Yeah. So I think they've shown. I was worried in this
resiliency.
Yeah. And I was worried. This is something we talked about, that the benefit or the downside of bringing Nick back was you're carrying all that baggage and it'll really weigh you down. I feel like for now, and you're right, things could obviously change. I mean, look, 3 weeks ago, I thought the season might be over. But I'm just saying, like, now that I've felt that and I've seen them take punches and I've seen them carry the baggage from Nick and like survive it, I think that is a very good sign for what I think these next like 10 games are going to hold. Like, I do think they are ready to go on a bit of a run.
Nice.
And look, Cincinnati's a tough one for sure. But like, then you have the Jaguars. I think that's a winnable game. Then is it the Rams?
Washington coming up soon.
It's Dallas, Washington, and then maybe the Rams.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Like, I look, there's still tough games. It just feels to me like they survived something, and I think there is like we shouldn't just overlook that.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I'm not ready to say that they're through it.
Right.
But I get your point. I definitely think to be sitting, and I said it on the post game pod, like to be 4-2 at this point, like is not bad. Like considering where it could have gone and where we expected it to go, it's not bad. They're not in a bad spot.
So I wish I could remember the exact stat, but I think they haven't gone 2 straight games without a turnover since like the midway of the 2022
I think
season.
Didn't Tucker tweet it? I believe
I tweeted it out, but I don't remember the exact.
Oh wow!
I think
That's
maybe
tough.
you did too, but
No, I said it was their first game without a turnover
Since the San Francisco
49ers
game.
Right. I didn't do 2 in a row.
Well, they didn't turn it over versus the Browns.
No, he said that after the Browns.
Oh yeah. No, I'm saying I don't think they've gone 2 straight games without a turnover since like the midway / end of the 2022 season.
Wow.
So it's been like while the opponents are noteworthy, we saw this team lose
to the Giants,
the Cardinals, the Giants, the Seahawks, right?
That's a fair point.
So like they are these last 2 weeks, they have played a brand of football we have not seen them play in a really long time. It's reality. So while yes, again, we need to see them do it against good teams. Yeah, I don't think you have to win Sunday, but you have to play well. Like you can't go to Cincinnati and all of a sudden take all the momentum you have and turn it backwards. But it does feel like they're turning a corner, if not turned it. Like I
would say turning. That's where I would say it seems like you're saying they've turned the corner. I would say
I think a win over the Bengals and they've turned.
I think they're turning. That's why I said
it. Yeah.
I think for the fan base, for all of us, if they go in and they beat Joe Burrow and they beat that Bengals team on the road, like 2 straight road games, and they look good again, whether it's a close game or not, whether they look like a team that doesn't turn the ball over, doesn't make mistakes, they play good defense. Like I think if they go into Cincinnati, people will feel like it's turned.
And so circle all the way back to what I asked you, like you think fans need to see a win?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. That's why
now, do you think
that's kind of was responding to what you were saying initially of like, I don't need them win. And honestly, I don't either. Like we talked about, like they could be 5-3 after 8 games and I still will feel like they have a chance to do something.
Right.
But I think if they can beat the Bengals this week, I think that's the thing that will turn this fan base.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think if they beat the Bengals, like, then you're really starting to go somewhere. And the other thing, and I've been thinking a lot about, is it is true, and this is something you've brought up a few times, and I think early on this season, I definitely dismissed it more, but like, I think now that we're more games in, it's starting to impact me more. The NFC is not good. Like, so, all right, let me rephrase that. There is no powerhouse in the NFC besides Detroit.
Yeah, there's no great.
And Detroit's pretty banged up.
Team,
like
but losing their best defensive player hurts. It's weird.
Jameson Williams.
I've said this a lot, and I do believe that there is no great team, and I think that's good for the Eagles. But it does also feel like the floor is a little higher in the NFC than I expected. I mean, look, there are 4 teams.
It's going to be tougher
NFC
to make
North.
the playoffs.
That's my point.
Yeah,
there are 4 teams in the NFC North that have the same or better record than the Eagles right now. Like 4 teams. Like the Eagles aren't even in first place in their own division right now because Washington looks real. Like assuming Jaden Daniels can play, like I'm
a little worried about the Jaden Daniels thing.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I saw Carson get that. Obviously, don't know the same.
It can hurt.
He was out like a month.
And ribs and stuff. That could be a big help for the Eagles.
Especially, obviously, like.
But of course, you see baseball a lot. Like whenever there's an oblique injury, they'll be like 2 weeks. I'm like, no way. Like, no chance. Swinging. If you're a pitcher, that motion, like. So I agree with you. For a quarterback, I think there's about a much worse injury than for another player. But they're still, if he's there, like they're legit enough. I think.
Yes, for sure. Well, so we've talked about.
My point is more just I think it's gonna be a lower, a high. I think there's gonna be a higher record to get into the playoffs.
Yes, I would agree with that. But I think going into the playoffs,
but I agree with you.
The only game,
the Lions are the only one that really scared me.
The only
at all
team and the only game I think that I would be like.
They're probably not winning that. Is going to Detroit.
But outside of that, like even though the NFC North
there's no one
is
else.
better,
I
going to Minnesota wouldn't be terrifying.
No, it's one of those
a tough
where
place to
I
play,
think the Eagles could lose in Minnesota. I think they could win in Minnesota. I think they could lose in Green Bay. They could win in Green Bay, or they would probably have that game at home because if the Lions win the division,
right.
Regardless, I think
they've literally beat Green Bay.
And obviously a lot will change between now and the playoffs,
Yeah,
and we
for
will look
sure.
at this Eagles team differently. And if they go on a run, we'll feel more confident on it. But like as of today, the Lions are the only team that I would go into a playoff game saying they're not winning.
Yep.
And of course they could. You can win any game, as we know.
And the other, this is a bit off topic, but the other reason I do think there's like special qualities to this team now is for whatever we think of the Knicks stuff, I think it's pretty clear it unified them.
Well, so that's what I was going to say.
It like, dude,
I think Nick even hinted it a little bit when he
yes,
said
definitely. He said
the anger thing when they were talking about the anger, and he's like,
Yeah.
it can be a unifier. I know it
Definitely.
is for us.
Yes.
He literally said that, and I was like, yeah, dude, you know my thing. Like, take any slice of motivation that you can from anything in this sport. That's why at the 2017 Eagles, I always like the us against the world thing.
Right.
Like the no one believes in us, but the 53 guys in this room, like that is so powerful, man.
Right. And while like I agree with you, like any slice you can get, take it. This wasn't a slice. This was like,
oh, it's a big one.
An entire, no, I know. Right. But I also think that what was baked into the Knicks
and it's
thing,
huge that they're rallying around him, or at least it seems like.
Yeah. First of all, I think the players not only liked what he did, I think they do not care one iota. Like, I don't think, like, when I hear them talk about it, it is very much like, what in the world were we doing as a media and a fan base being so worked up about it? Like, I think they truly do not care about what happened there. And I think that they view the attacking of Nick on that, and I won't use the word attacking, but the discussion about Nick around that as like they're coming at our guy.
Good.
Type of thing.
That's great. That's phenomenal.
No, I agree. And the clip that came out of him talking to Saquon, I'm assuming you've seen it.
Which is, I mean, and Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely.
Like what a freaking, like, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best.
He doesn't seem like he's real.
Right. He is, honestly, I've covered pro athletes for 12 years. Like, he might be the best version of a pro athlete.
Yes, of like a
in terms of like
all of it.
Ability, like I don't know how many.
Just if for those who maybe didn't see it, because I'm guessing not everyone listening saw it. What happened? What we're talking about here is on the sideline. The Nick mentioned it in our interview with him, and then the audio came out after. And it was so the audio came out. Essentially, Nick, was in the fourth quarter when he was taking out all the starters. He went to Saquon. He said, "Saquon, I know you're 13 or 16 yards away from your career high." He's like, "I want you to get it if you want it." Right. And he's like, "I'm going to take the other starters out, but if you want to go out there and get it." And Saquon's like, "No, man, let the young boys let him." And that, I mean, that's special stuff. I'm getting chills talking about it.
And so did Nick. Just similarities again.
Same guy.
But like also noteworthy, like, was Nick going to put all the starters back in?
If that was, I took it as you'll go out there without the starters. We'll get your record.
Okay,
that's what I took it as. Hey, we'll run the ball a few times. You get your record, come back out, and we're good.
Right.
That was what I don't think he was going to play the starters just for Saquon.
I don't. Then do you put Saquon out there with the backups? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think it was that's why he's giving him the choice. I think he was saying, "Hey, Saquon, I'm putting the backups in, but you can go out there and get your career high."
Right. So Saquon is the takeaway from the video.
Is
but
unbelievable.
The subcontext of that video is it was a chance to look at Nick interact with the player that we don't normally see.
No, it's great.
And the way Nick like was sitting down next to him, like talking to him, just like the tone in each of their voices, you could tell there's
a relationship.
There's a true like relationship there, right? And that is what Nick brings. And like, again, I have been team have your offensive guy, have your head coach be your best offensive mind. Like, and I still believe that.
This is my biggest win in the history.
It is. Yeah. But like, also, Nick's job is to make the NovaCare a place where players want to go and people like each other. And like, that is clearly the case there now. And I think last year, and that's on Nick for letting it get to that point last year. But last year, you're seeing it happen with San Francisco right now. When you have the coming off a loss of a Super Bowl, it just ruins the season.
Totally. That's why we were out on San Francisco.
It ruins the season. And so, while I don't think it excuses the end of last year, like, you could kind of look at it and go,
the fact that they went 10-1 is probably
and so the culture thing matters, and I'm not completely dismissing it because he holds blame for that. But the culture this year once again seems really, really good. And I think
after some rough moments,
like, and after had to go through some rough things too. Like, I'm more impressed by it, again, semantics, but like, I think they've gotten through something. I think Nick deserves credit, and I think as a result of getting through it, they are a very tightly knit team. Like, which they just are
important.
Now, we'll see at the end of the season, because obviously,
well, again, we'll see if they lose. Like, again, that's the big question: is if they lose 3 in a row, does this all fall apart again?
Right.
That's the real question. Let's get to Jalen, because you asked me a really interesting question prior to starting. And the question was essentially, and it's been discussed in general forms, the whole game manager thing and all that, but like the idea of, do you want Jalen to keep playing kind of what was the word used? Cautious or
Cautious.
So, which is funny
Conservative,
because
whatever.
it's like I don't know that he is full. I mean, like that fourth down throw to AJ was anything but conservative. That was about as not 4th and 3 and you freaking throw for the end zone is not conservative. And they did that again the other game where they threw to AJ on 4th down. So like, I don't know that it's conservative, but in terms of protecting the football over taking risks, yes.
Yeah.
I want him to, for sure.
I want him to lean super far.
Like I just do that fully. So like I think game manager has like a bad connotation to it for some reason over the years. But like
that's literally a quarterback shot.
But that's what we want him to do. Like I want Jalen to put the ball in the hands of the superstar players that are around him, and I want him to keep the ball away from the other team. That's it. And make a couple special plays, which he's going to do anyway.
That's where I'm at with Jalen right now. So if you look at since 2021, so since Jalen became the starter, when they don't turn the ball over, they're 19-5. And that's including a year in 2021 where they were not a great team and they lost some games just because they weren't that talented. If you look since the start of 2022, when AJ arrived, they are 13-2, I believe, when he doesn't turn the ball over. And when AJ plays, they're 13-1. So while that's not like, 4 years of a sample size, it's kind of as simple as this. If AJ plays and they don't turn it over, they're like almost impossible to beat, right? So I agree with you that to beat, and we talked about that Detroit game, to go into Detroit and beat the Lions, not AJ, well, AJ is, but Jalen will have to make
some plays,
5-6 special plays, like big third down completions, big
run here and
plays that were like dead that he saved. Like he will have to do it, right? Like no question about it. But right now,
to beat the Bengals,
he doesn't have to. And so when I watch the games, like, all right, we haven't talked about this, but the play where he misses Devontae, right? Remember, he's like wide open going across the middle. The play where he misses Saquon, right?
Wide open.
Yeah. So I think the flaw in those plays is he is looking at his first read. He's not coming off of it. And he's not like getting to a second read quick enough. Like that's the flaw. And I think that is something he has to work on. But on those plays, there is pressure allowed. Like Fred Johnson, especially on the Devontae one, like there's pressure, right? I am noticing with Jalen, to me, he is much, much quicker than he used to be early in the season of getting two hands on the football. Like when pressure gets there, he is just basically being like, boom, two hands. Or he is basically like, get down. Or he is just like running and diverting his eyes away. And I understand that long-term, why that's not a great thing. Because again, to play Detroit, like you might need 40 points.
Yeah,
so
and you want him to be able to step up in the
yes,
pocket.
I agree with all those right?
Things we've talked about.
I'm not saying this makes Jalen like a top 3 quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that for the first 4 games, Jalen looked like a top 25 quarterback.
Yeah. They need him to be like 12.
Yes. And so I like with the talent they have and with, I just think if Jalen prioritizes taking care of the football and punting the ball instead of like, again, that Buccaneers game where there's pressure, he feels the pressure, right? He steps up in the pocket like we want him. He cocks his arm back and the guy knocks the ball out. It was Levante David. And now I know that game was kind of over. We could debate.
Did he even have his arm? I thought he was like kind of running with it a little
bit.
No,
he was getting ready to throw Calcaterra. I think you're thinking of the Saints game where he just kind of the Saints game, yeah,
just got knocked
right. He didn't have two hands on the ball. Like he's running because he's thinking maybe I'll throw it. Like in the Giants game, I noticed when he was in the pocket, he was much, much more two hands on the football. And I think the coaching staff deserves some credit for that. Like, it's only 2 games, but we've talked a lot over the years about Sirianni and the coaching staff. When there's a problem, they've generally been able to fix it, right? And the turnover, it's only 2 games, but it looks like they are on their way to fixing that problem. But I would rather have a version of Jalen where Jalen is first thought, protect the football. First, second, third thought. And then, like, if you're in a situation where you got to do something, then he's going to have to be special. And like, to your point, they have had big 4th down throws to AJ, like all those things. But I'm just loving seeing him like ultra focused on protecting the football. And then they have 2 months to grow and to get better at it. But it felt like at the bye week, they needed to go back to square one with him. Like, like if you're going to play the position, obviously he is. Priority number 1 has to be protecting the football. And then like make the read simple, run the ball a lot. Like it's looked like 2021 offense in some ways. I think Giglio said they've run like 81 times to 39 passes over 2 games, which is obviously
now the last game is partly
for sure. The score is yes, for sure. But I think the last 2 games they've looked like they've gone back to square one with him, and it's working. And now we'll see the rest of the season how they build upon
from
it.
there.
Yeah.
I think it's a great point by you. I fully support it. Again, we spent the first 5 weeks or whatever, 4 weeks, I guess, Eagles games, but 5 weeks of the season, the overall season, just saying don't turn the ball over. Like, don't turn, that's it. I don't need anything else from you, man.
Exactly.
Like, just stop doing it. Stop. And like, he's done it for 2 weeks. He hasn't even put it close to harm's way for 2 weeks.
So he's there's only 3 quarterbacks in the NFL over the last 2 weeks that have 2+ big time throws, which Pro Football Focus describes as like the AJ type throw, right? And 0 turnover worthy plays. There's only 3 of them, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
So like he is doing a good job of protecting the ball while also taking chances.
Yeah, again, and it's only 2 games,
and not a
so
ton
we
of
need to see it continue and all that. But it's been very good what he's done. And look, I want to give him a lot of credit for just his overall thing, like the demeanor, having fun out there, like all the stuff that I was worried about in the offseason, heading into the offseason, the way he went about his business, the interaction with Nick, the defending Nick, having Nick's back, like all this stuff. He has been perfect the last couple of weeks with this stuff. Like he is like, it's almost all of a sudden, it's like Nick's his favorite person ever. It's like, how did this happen?
It feels intentional,
Like,
which is fine. That's
great.
what we wanted.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yes. I don't care if you're telling me the truth. Just have the dudes back in public. I've been really impressed. And we talked about the kid and play celebration, like all that stuff. It just feels like Jalen is having fun out there, being a leader. Like he's doing the things that off the field that he needs to do as the quarterback of the Eagles. I'm really impressed. I want to make sure that he gets credit for that, because it is something we harped on. I want to ask you about a specific thing with Jalen in this last game. You gave him an A for the game.
I did.
Coming off of it. I don't know if I would have, I don't give grades. I probably would have gone closer to B or B plus, because he didn't do that much or whatever. There was a fair amount of Eagles media, Greg Cosell, a couple other people being like Fran Duffy, exactly. Basically being like, Jalen sucked in this game. Fran, I believe, called it his worst game in years, or certainly his worst game of the season. He said
was his least effective game.
Yeah, whatever. Like what is your take on that?
Yeah, so I definitely understand why you would leave that game and not be impressed with Jalen. I'm just viewing it differently. Like, for me, it starts and ends with the turnovers. I would almost, in fact, I can guarantee it because I give the grades. Like,
if he doesn't turn the ball over, he's going to get
he's mostly going to get an A. Like, I don't know what to say. If they win the game and he doesn't turn it over, that's an A for me. Now, to their point,
he goes 0 for 22 with no turnovers.
I know, that would be the extreme. Hey. But what I mostly mean is, I think, it's almost, this is not a good analogy, but when you're trying to teach somebody something, you have to give them strong emphasis, right? And I think it's a strong positive reinforcement, right? I think the Eagles coaching staff should go to those games, these last 2 games, and be like, good job, Jalen. This is what we're asking you to do. Good job. Now, to what they're saying, and I haven't watched Greg Cosell, but I can imagine based off watching it what they're saying. Yes, he missed reads, right? He looked at his receivers for too long. I think that there is still a problem in this offense. Are you okay over there, buddy?
No. Yeah, that would be. Do we get more listens on the download if Tucker chokes to death on the pod? Probably, right?
I mean,
people would tune in.
Yeah, well, we'd have
Tucker. You want to take one for the team?
We'd have to title it properly.
Tucker's
shocking all caps death.
You're really good for SEO.
Tucker dies.
Well, what sucks is Tucker wouldn't even get the benefit of it.
I know.
Yeah,
but he'd do it for us, and that's why I love Tucker.
But back to the point. Back to the point I was making.
Wow, what a pro you are.
I know, right? I think that it's a game that 2021 third or fourth start of his career is how I'm looking at it, if that makes sense. If you want to look at it as that,
but you can understand how people will be
no, I definitely
understand. He's in your 6 or 5.
I definitely understand that. I'm just letting you know what I'm prioritizing, right? So when they look at that game and they go, he didn't play well, I understand that, right? If you're grading him on you want what you want from the quarterback position every game, holistically, I definitely understand that. But for me, the turnovers have been such a major problem that I will deal with not great pocket presence because he's going right down, or I will deal with him focusing on one read. And if that's not so here's a perfect example. I believe it was the 4th down play, the 4th and 2 play. He has all the time in the world in the pocket. He's sitting back there. There is a window where I think Jahan Dotson pops open. Jahan Dotson's crossing over the middle somewhat. It's a little, there we go. Siri doesn't understand. There is
You're gonna let Tucker die on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it.
There's a window where I think he could have tried to squeeze it in Jahan Dotson, and he didn't. Now you could look at that play and go, throw that ball, right? You're a $250 million quarterback, throw the ball. but he doesn't. Like I am just okay with conservative, like being ultra safe. But I do understand why others would watch that and go, it doesn't look like they have a passing offense. Like I get that for sure. But also like the 4th down throw to AJ was an elite special throw. Pressure in his face, 4th down, touchdown. Like that is a massive big time throw.
So I am of two minds. I'm generally more with you. Overall, what I want from Jalen right now at this moment in his career is I want him to play conservative. I want him to make a couple special plays that he's going to make, and I want him to not turn the ball over. To your point, like that's really what I want from him. I think everything else will kind of flow with the way the offense is. But I can also understand if we're talking about long term, if we're thinking about Jalen as the future of this franchise, which we all hope he can still be, right?
And I think he still is, for what it's worth.
That's
as of
where
now.
it gets concerning, though, because like he's still doing the same things that he has struggled with for years. Like he might just not be able to get through all his reads. He might just not be able to make certain throws. He might not. Like he just might not have, he might never be able to throw over the middle of the field. He might never be able to work under center.
The running back screen thing. He cannot make that throw.
It's unbelievable.
He can't do it. The ball gets batted down.
It's a ball 50 yards to AJ on a dime, but he can't throw it 3 yards to say, except for the one that Saquon dropped.
So
ironic.
I agree with you on that, right? Like
how ironic.
I know. I agree with you on all that, right? But I guess what I'm saying is like I think that those are things that if he's not turning the ball over, I can wait while he see if he develops them, right? The issue is when he's not doing all those things and he's turning the ball over, then it's like you can't win with this guy. But they have enough talent that they can win with him if he is not turning the ball over. Like that is it for him. If he turns the ball over, he is not a good enough
bar. Though.
It is, but it's the bar. Like
I agree, and I just want to win now. And I agree. I'm just saying that I think there's a world where they're a good team now, but it doesn't mean that Jalen is the long-term answer.
I agree. There is definitely a world where at the end of the season, we're going, you know what? Jalen is just not good enough, right? Like he cannot do the things that with all this talent to maximize it. But the thing you just said about the bar is something I've been thinking about a lot. And to be clear, this is coming from somebody that loves lists, loves the roller coaster, love hypotheticals. So I'm not like dismissing it, but the bar is a fictitious thing we've made up. The reality is when Jalen doesn't turn the ball over, he wins almost all the time. So while we can say like, he can't do this, he can't do that, they win with him a lot. So I can't get too wrapped up in like right now, will he ever learn to throw over the middle? Because as long as he's not turning it over, then you know what? Let's see at the end of the year if he can do it. And let's see if next year he can do it. But it has to start and stop with the turnovers for me, if that makes sense.
No, it does. All right. I want to get to something else. But before I do, anything else from the game before we move forward, like that you have on your mind that you want to get off?
Probably for the second half of the pod. I mean, I have various other small things.
Second half, brother.
Well, we didn't do any of the reads.
Oh my God.
That's why it was.
Is that why you asked?
Yeah.
That was why. So we were 30 minutes in, like 20 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's
We've
why.
been going for a while, longer than we thought. No big deal.
We'll do the final thoughts.
I forgot about that. No, I still have one other thing I want to get into.
Okay, because I have one other small thing.
Okay, good. So we'll do the small things, then we'll get in the final. Let's do some reads. How about that?
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of reads, the Bet Parks pod. This is what we're doing here.
By the way.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Seriously. We have not gotten to talk about this. You're right. Because we did the post-game pod and we weren't going to take everyone's time. We didn't even know then. Hello, everybody. We won our parlay again.
Dude, we are
3 for 6 this year in parlay.
We're actually 3 for 6.
3 for 6.
Yeah. It's
we had a
unbelievable.
parlay 50% of the time.
And also, we're not taking like plus 150 parlays.
Yeah,
our parlays have all
dogs this week.
Yes. They've all been plus 300.
Oh, it's plus 500.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, these are, if you would have bet $10 with us each week, $10 is nothing.
Yeah.
You would be up. I can't do the math. I don't know, $400 or $500.
Whoa, no. You're getting
3 of them.
That's $50. If you bet $10, you win 50 on plus 500.
Okay, but you would have won 3 of them.
So you'd be up like 100.
All right, fine. You'd be up
bucks, somewhere in that range.
Whatever. I'm thinking about my bets.
Yeah,
but like, yes,
if you bet 100 on it, you would win 500.
Right, and I'm not, gamble responsibly. I'm just saying
for winning so much, you can gamble a little
I'm
more
just saying you would be up. 15 times what you invest.
First time ever we've won the parlay in back-to-back weeks. No big deal to us.
I think we're really learning how to get it done.
Yeah, we're very good at this year. I mean, on fire. Is what I'm saying. So no big deal. Shout out to us. Also, shout out to Mike Quick, Seth Joyner, Jody Mack, Rob Ellis, Joe Conklin. Along with us, the Bet Parks lineup. Bet Parks, the official sportsbook online casino of the Go Birds pod. It's the only one we use, the only one we recommend. Obviously, we're going to go through all the games on the Bet Parks pod. You might want to pay attention because, no big deal. Team winning. Right. But also the Birds this weekend, 2.5 point underdogs in Cincy. We'll see if that line changes at all. It's open at 1.5, moved to 2.5. like this. I like the underdog thing this week. You can bet on more than just the score, games, player TDs, rushing yards, passing yards, sacks, interceptions, all the good stuff. Plus, with the BetParx app, the amazing thing, if you're watching football, you play casino games right in your hand, play live dealer, blackjack, craps, roulette, baccarat, as Elliot always likes to point out. Bet on all your favorite sports while watching the games and making money on the casino app. Here's a great deal for you. If you download the app, new users, listens to this. New users, if you download the app right now, you get $1,000. Yes, up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Casino bonus must be wagered. See betparx.com for the details. You must be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, Ohio, or Michigan. Gambling problem. Go on, Andrew Gambler.
So, did you know that I'm a 2-time Best Actor?
I did. Sadly,
Okay, I
yes.
can't remember if I told you.
We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tucker, did you know?
I didn't. I
Yeah.
did not know.
2-time Best Actor.
Yes.
Fire prevention plays when I was in
Yes.
maybe 5th and 6th
Yes.
grade.
Yes.
Yeah. Back-to-back years. No big deal to me. Didn't even have lines one year, right?
Yeah.
Still won Best Actor.
So they gave the award out. You actually have the award.
I don't think I have them anymore.
Oh.
They were like little firemen. But the reason I bring this up is because Window Nation sent us a new script, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's literally a script. Like it's James Elliott. And
It's a script.
I am going to dramatically read the script like the 2-time Best Actor I am.
Okay.
So
So
get
you're
ready.
gonna read my parts too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because you don't have it.
I don't
Like,
have the script. We gotta
right,
give me
yeah.
the script. Next time I'll do it too.
All right. James sitting in a dark blue blazer, looking fresh, looking excited. Elliot, did you know that October is the best time to buy new windows? ESP, confused, excited, intrigued. No, I didn't. James, excited to tell Elliot. With nicer weather here,
like
it's a
you're
great
reading the
time to
stage
replace those old inefficient windows with energy efficient ones from Window Nation before the cold weather hits. I trust Window Nation in my home, so should you. And guess what, Elliot? In October, they're giving you great value. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. And there is no limit to how many you could save on. Plus, you could save big with no interest or payments for 24 months. ESP, excited, blown away, thinking of the savings. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty and they can be installed in 1 day or less. Window Nation was also recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies, James. So you can trust Window Nation for high quality, affordable windows. Stop paying more than you have to. Dramatic music plays as the crowd goes wild. James, hurry. Sale ends October 31st. So schedule a fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. Scene.
Wow. See, now if Tucker were on his game, he would insert some applause, post production.
Maybe like one of those Full House, like,
post.
oh,
Look, I
Yeah.
like you. I was just going, classic applause. but
Yeah.
sure, just
3-time Best Actor.
I
after
really
that.
you reading the stage directions in there. ESP, excited.
Well, just to be clear,
thinking
there were
about
no
savings.
stage directions.
That was
in it.
just you.
Yeah, I
making-
made that up. Yeah.
No.
What do you think they put ESP
I was
excited?
surprised.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's a really involved.
no. Yeah, I made that up.
Wow.
So I'm a 2-time Best Actor.
What a king is like.
Right.
I'm disappointed he didn't do a James
Voice.
I was
thought you were
thinking
going
about
to,
that.
So I was too. And he's like, no, Elliot. Like I thought there'd be some sort of like.
Here's the thing.
We all have a James impression.
I'm really bad at
It's
impressions.
good to know. I didn't know everyone.
I
had
am
James.
really, really bad at
Yeah.
impressions.
So
Which is ironic, 'cause I'm a 2-time Best Actor.
It is right. I can repeat things. Like if I hear something, I can like repeat it and sound like the thing. But when I try and pull it out of my head, I'm horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't do a Meryl impression. Everyone can do a Meryl impression.
I
can't do a Harry
That
Cavill.
actually everyone does have.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yes,
Like,
yes, Meryl Reese.
yeah, I'm not even gonna do it.
Not
Like
the
that.
40.
My-
the 30, the
My
30,
body
the 30.
just doesn't. See, well, that's not a great one. But like,
Thank you.
no,
That was very kind. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But like, my body doesn't work that way. Like, I can't make it.
I find myself that I do Joe Conklin's whenever I like think about
You
it.
do a good JoeConklin.com.
Yeah.
You're good at that.
JoeConklin.com.
Yeah,
I'm good at
you're
that.
very good at that.
I learned it because I could do a Mickey Mouse a little bit. It's like hi, I'm Mickey Mouse.
That's actually not bad.
Not too bad, right?
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
okay
bad.
with Mickey Mouse. So,
But yeah, no, it's just not my thing.
good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some birds.
Go for it.
Okay, I'll give you my thing. You give me your thing, and we'll do final thoughts. My thing, kind of creeping up on the trade deadline, November 5th. So it's like 2.5 weeks away. Generally, where's your head at with the Eagles, and where do you think Howie's head is at heading into the deadline? They've been linked to wide receivers, which I can't imagine.
Right.
Give up more traffic for wide receiver. But like edge rusher, something we talked about. Reddick is back in New York. This not like potential lineman. If
Yeah.
the Mailata thing, like where do you think Howie's at? And do you think he made the Dotson trade early? Do you think he's still going?
So I think if Max Crosby and Myles Garrett are on the market, I think it is such a unique opportunity that I think he would pay top dollar to get him. Not often do arguably the two best edge rushers in the league, like we could, two top 5, whatever, 27 years old, 28 years old, a massive position of need for the Eagles. They are young everywhere else, basically. The only other position they need to think about replacing is Lane Johnson, and they will do that either through the draft or they'll pay top money to replace Lane, right? But like, where else does this team need draft picks? They're young, they're stacked at receiver. They have Saquon.
Well, I mean, you could argue like Jordan Davis,
right? But they have Jalen Carter, Moro Jama.
They need a tight end next year,
right? They're not devoid of holes. But the point I'm making is the biggest problem on their team is edge rush.
I agree,
and it's arguably the second most position in the most important position in the sport besides tackle. So if you can get a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby for a first round pick,
I think it would cost more.
Yeah, okay, so let's say it's a first and a second.
I think it'd be maybe 2 1s for Garrett or whatever.
I would pay it, and I wonder what Howie would do because those are elite edge rushers that you can just plop on the field. You don't have to scheme them in; like they just impact things instantly, make everybody around them better. And like we just talked about, the NFC kind of wide open, and he's someone you have for 3 or 4 years. Like normally when we talk about these trade things, and it's going to be a first round pick, like we're mostly just talking about it. Like they're not going to do it. I think there is a lot of sound reasoning that Howie would see for trading if they're available.
Look, I agree. I think you'd obviously have to compete with the Lions. I think the Lions will give up whatever it takes to replace Hutchinson. But look, I would do it too.
Yeah.
And especially with Howie and his, as we know, his in-season trades have been, other than Jay Ajayi, bad. Like not even like mediocre.
But this seems so like
no. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm going. It's like the Golden Tate, Robert Quinn, John Dodson. Oh, they've all been terrible. Like you can't do terrible with Myles Garrett. Like there's no like, oh, let me get a player who I think can really help us. It's like, no, you're getting one of the best players in football. Like it is what it is.
I would say
I'm saying it's almost like Howie proof at the trade deadline. Like he kind of can't screw it up if he trades for one.
Also, and this is not like a super great point, but I think it's kind of interesting.
Love when you lead into a point with like,
no problem.
Sucks, but I'm going to do it.
I think the only 2 times the Eagles have traded a first round pick, or at least Howie's been in the building when they've done it, was
Jason Peters
and AJ Brown.
Yeah.
So like,
great point. Yep. It's for superstars.
If you don't go bargain shopping, like yes, you pay more, but like you get a superstar. So I would definitely do it.
All right. What's your thing?
So this is kind of funny coming off of that, but like while Nolan Smith is not good enough yet, and while Nolan Smith has to be better, I do think Nolan Smith has improved the last.
He's back.
He has.
He's back on the Nolan.
He has. Like Vic Fangio gave him a shout out. Vic Fangio, as we know, tells it how it is, doesn't lie. I've been impressed by Nolan Smith the last 2 weeks again, and like Vic Fangio pointed this out. He's starting to win with power, which is big for an undersized guy. And while this is not like where you want him to be, he's a former first round pick. He should be better than he is. Right now. If you look at the Pro Football Focus rankings of all the edge rushers in the NFL, he's ranked 64th right now. Nothing to write home about. Certainly not what you hope for, but 2 starting edge rushers on each team, 32 teams. Like he's turning into an NFL player, like average, slightly above average. And it's kind of similar to the Jalen thing where it's like, it's not what you want long-term, but right now, like, I think there is reason to start to just believe a little bit in Nolan again. I'm excited to see where this goes the rest of the season.
Mr. Positive, back. You bailed on him, and now you're back with your.
That's how it goes.
All right, final thoughts.
All right, so I was at the Wells Fargo Center recently. I don't remember for what. I was there for for Shane Gillis, but I was also there for Sabrina Carpenter. But Shane Gillis is where I thought of this. Do you remember? Did you go to Sixers games? Obviously, like when you were, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Like, all right. I know you've been to every baseball stadium.
No. Yeah, I went. My stepfather had season tickets, so I went to a lot for that, like Iverson years.
Yes. Okay.
On a 01
it's crazy to think we were in the arena at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
I think about that a lot.
I never think about that.
Like if me and Kristen were ever like in the same bar.
I never think about this kind of stuff. It is great.
It is crazy to think like you're in the same place with someone that's gonna be a huge part of your life.
Yeah, like
you have
Emily,
no idea.
I never think about I'm so not. Like, I don't think in hypotheticals or in that kind of like Emily even asked me today. She's like, do you ever think about like where you would be without me? And I'm like, honestly, no, I've never once, not once have I thought about what my life would be like without you. Never.
Be interesting to think about.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. But so here was my thought. and Tucker, feel free to chime in since it is the Sixers start season. You have on the nice Sixers jacket.
Yeah.
Or-
Do I look like Doc Rivers?
You do. Very similar.
You do look like a scheduled loss. If
Yes.
a human could be a
Yeah.
scheduled loss.
Do you remember? Do
Come
you?
on, that was
Yeah.
too good a line not to say. I had
We're
to.
getting close to putting this in the title. But do you remember when back in the day at Sixers games, you could rent binoculars under the seats?
I don't remember that.
How I remember it. It is wild to think. I remember like me and my dad, you would
I
go to
don't
like
remember
a
the
little
binoculars.
booth and you'd be like, I'm in row 24.
I remember that for like baseball.
Yeah, they did it for Sixers. Now,
Huh.
maybe they tried it and stopped, and I just happened to be at some of the games.
Yeah.
But you would go to like the little booth and be like, I'm in row 22. It was for upper level, obviously, like seat 12 and 13. And you would pay, and the binoculars would unlock under your seats.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you would
No,
pull,
this does sound
and it's
somewhat
so
familiar.
funny to think about people back then, like just sitting there with their binoculars, wanting to see so much closer. And like, also, why get rid of it? Like, I understand now we have phones that zoom in, but no one's watching the game through their phone.
Yeah, well, sadly, I think people are watching the game through their phone.
Well, I just
more
mean
than
like
they
no
probably
one's
did.
zooming in.
Ah, you never know, man.
Yeah, you never
They're
know.
Filming
But
everything now. Like it's like you may as well just watch it.
It's just so funny to picture me or like anyone just being like, I need to see Iverson
Mhm.
closer. And like putting the binoculars up. It's like, it was a cool idea.
No, it's good. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's an okay idea. I don't
Thank
hate
you.
it. I'm gonna recommend a TV show. I don't remember the last time I
Wow.
recommend.
Is it the Penguin?
No, I don't usually watch TV shows, as you know. But
Right.
Emily and I, it's because it's 22 minutes, which is great. The short
Right.
comedies. I'm really recommending because it's a local thing. Like it is a cartoon about Delco. Have you guys seen Universal Basic Guys?
Okay, so let me tell you something. I have not, but I could not be more uninterested in the title of it. Like, I just think it's such,
This is such a Joe camera thing to say.
I just,
the
like-
camera's like I didn't watch it because it's a bad title.
yeah, like,
Who
no,
cares about the title?
well, no, I agree. I just think it's an unappealing, like,
So it is about.
there's no
It's
creativity.
about Delco. Like it is about the guy's
I'll
name.
watch it.
The
I'm just
main
saying that-
character's name is Mark Hoagies. That is the main
who
character's name.
wrote this?
I don't know, but it is about
And it's
Delco.
nationwide?
They talk about
Like,
their
it's a-
Eagles fans. They talk
Wow.
about the birds. Like, yeah, it's nationwide. It's on Sundays.
See, they should be
after Simpsons or
advertising
whatever.
that more
It is.
locally.
It's on during the
Locally,
games. That's
I'm
how I
saying.
found out about
That's
it.
probably why I don't see it.
Yeah, I saw it during the game.
Yeah.
It's freaking hilarious. Like, it is really funny. It is super Delco. They all have like straight Delco accents. It's like you're literally listening to like Tommy from the Shore
Right.
on the cartoon. Again, the character's name is Mark Hoagies.
I mean, look, you are selling it more than they
It
have.
is so funny
Yeah.
and it's super local. It feels local. Big recommendation, Universal Basic.
Yeah.
Guys. 22 minutes, really easy.
I like it. I'll give it a shot.
There we go.
All right.
Thank you. All right. We'll be back. Bet Parks Fix Pod.
Mm.
Check it out. Because all
Do
we
it.
do is win.
Yes.
All we do is win, no matter. All
Can
right.
you stop live for a second? Or no? Just gotta keep going.
I mean, we kind of just got to keep going.
Okay, just curious.
You want me
Go
to?
ahead.
I can take the camera.
No, you
off.
could have waited. He's Elliot. I'm James.
Yeah, it's all right. My bad on that one.
Right. That was fine.
That's
Okay.
good to know.
Oh, well, cool. All right.
It's- now
Yeah,
we're
let's
back.
just knock it out. We'll be happy this time.
Yeah, yeah.
All
After
right.
Our secret meeting.
We're back. Wasn't that secret? We just decided to do the pod instead of not.
Yeah.
All right, ready, to roll?
Yep.
Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. You love to play, you play to win, you bet. Bet Parks, the Bet Parks picks pop.
Mm.
My favorite. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, all we do is literally win now. It's absurd.
It's absurd. Again, 3 parlays. I don't know if we've had 3 parlays in a year hit
yeah.
ever.
Well, how many years we've been doing this?
Like 4 or 5.
I think we've maybe hit.
like total like
Yeah.
6
like,
parlays.
no,
or
I
something?
don't even think 6, to be honest. We're jinxing ourselves a little, but
Yeah,
I think we have a good read on.
I
the
think
league
we're
this
doing
year.
much better at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, we've been picks have
Because
been good.
I was
on-
also thinking I'm 3-3 on the year picking Eagles games, but I kind of think I've picked basically all of them correct.
yeah. Well,
Like they should have beat the Falcons. They should have
What a
lost
line.
to the
That was
Saints.
fire.
Like
That was
I
great.
feel like I'm basically 5-1. The
Okay.
Packers one I got wrong. That way I got wrong. But outside of that, like I think the last 5 I had a really good
This
read
is
on 'em.
amazing.
Thank you.
This is
Yeah.
a really
Thank you.
unbelievable job by you.
Thank you.
Your guarantee was good.
Thank
All right, let's dive in. You gotta go see Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Going to lunch or something? Or
Yeah, just me and Nick.
yeah, just hanging out.
Hanging out.
Oh, he's doing a press
He's
conference.
bringing
I
his
get it.
kids.
I get
Yeah,
it. Now. I get
yeah.
it. Hey, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive right in. As let's win some people some money. As fun Thursday nighter this week, even though I'm guessing this will probably air Friday. So
Yeah.
you get to, as usual, hear us.
Well, no,
you're
we're
right,
probably right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The Vikings at the Rams. Not too bad. for
Not too
Thursday.
bad.
Not like super fun.
So,
but Cooper Kupp back, Puka potentially back. It's a game.
so this could definitely be not true. But I saw like that Dov Kleiman guy.
Yeah, he's
So he
tough.
tweeted out something.
Not a big fan of
He
that
tweeted
guy.
out something saying the Rams are considering trading Matthew Stafford to the to the Vikings, which like is wild to me. I
haven't
think
seen that. I've seen all the Cooper Kupp stuff.
Okay,
apparently they have.
I think they're going to trade Cooper
Shop
Kupp.
Cooper
Yeah,
Kupp
I think
around.
once it gets to this point, he's done. He's gone.
Well, I mean, the Eagles. You can't trade for a wide receiver if you're Howie, right? After the Dodson thing,
I was
you just
debating
can't
this
do
with
it.
my friends earlier. Like, part of me is like, you just improved to 53. Who cares? You know. But I obviously see the
Tough
the
luck.
downside of trading another high pick,
for a 31-year-old wide receiver who hasn't played.
and
a full
then
season
either
since
Dotson
they
or
won the
Kupp is
Super Bowl.
basically on the bench all game. Like, I
Yeah.
get it, but at the same time, if you can add him, like,
Well, Kupp would not be on the bench. You're not training.
well, then
Cooper Kupp,
Dotson
but
would.
Yeah, Dotson would not play.
Yeah, but I'm
Cooper
just
Kupp,
that's what I'm
Dotson's never
saying.
seen
It would
the field
be
again.
tough to trade a
Yeah,
3.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. The line for this game, I'm gonna guess it's in LA. You said
Yes,
Vikings -6.
3.
I'll take the Vikings.
I will too.
Yeah.
Vikings are good,
Their defense is good
Yeah.
too.
dude. We almost lost that part. That parlay
I know.
felt like locked, and then all of a sudden, we're watching the Eagles, but I see the score. I see it's like, wait, the Vikings are winning.
Yeah.
Wait, a fumble recovery? What just happened? Shout out to the Lions. Pulling through for us. Dan Campbell's our guy. All right, let's get to Sunday. No London game. Get a break. Nice. Cardinals at the Dolphins.
Cardinals at the Dolphins. Kyler Murray.
Ugh.
Kyler Murray won Kristen her fantasy game over Drew from Westchester.
Big
by the
win.
way. Yeah.
Big win
Cardinals at who? Say it again.
at the Dolphins.
Dolphins. Tua back.
Yeah, Emily lost 2 players who got zeros again this week.
That sucks.
It's been,
Yeah.
it's not great.
Cardinals -2.
Cardinals. Actually, it's the Dolphins -3,
So they're
which
in on
tells you
Tua.
Tua is going to be back.
Yeah.
this week.
I wonder how long until they make everybody wear the Guardian cap. I've seen it. It doesn't look that much different than the helmet.
Yeah.
I thought it would look like crazy silly.
It's not that. I saw it at training camp too. It's
But
not-
no, but I'm saying when you wear it in the game and you put the cap over it.
I'm saying I've seen it at training camp. The guys wear it at training camp.
Right, but in training camp they don't put the like logo over it.
Yeah.
Like in a game, if you wear it in a game, you put like almost like a
thing over it.
like a stretchy thing over it. It looks fine. I think
who
they
cares? Save these people.
I agree, but I'm saying just visually it doesn't even look as bad as I
and
thought
again,
it
who
would.
cares?
I agree, but I'm just
look. My take on this: Tua should never play football. That's how I feel about it. Honestly, I
just don't think we know
I
enough,
don't-
but
but-
you're right.
play it safe.
Yes.
Here's what I'll say: I am not going to be comfortable watching Tua play football. It's going to be like I'm watching him. I'm going to be like, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. It's going to be awkward. Anyway, I'll take the Cardinals.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Okay.
Gannon, come on.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Shut down. the offense.
Falcons at the Bucks.
Falcons at the Bucks.
Important
Bucks
NFC South
banged up
battle.
too.
Yeah, lost
Godwin
Godwin
gone.
and
I don't know
Evans.
about Evans. I would assume not, but
I doubt for this week. he'll be
yeah,
back.
it's a hamstring. I thought I saw. Falcons -4.
2.5.
I'll take the Falcons.
Falcons stink too.
Yeah, I know, but the Bucks
Just
have
got
nobody.
whooped by Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Bucks at home.
All right,
as an
fair.
underdog. I know they got no one, but
Tampa's a shady,
I
hard
think the
place to
Falcons
play.
stink.
Not because of the fans, but it's
It's
such
hot
a,
and muggy
It's
and
hot
shit,
and it's
yeah.
such like a dumpster around that stadium.
Yeah.
Like it just
No juice.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no juice. You're so used to playing with juice, and the Bucks are like, nah, we're used to this silence.
No,
like,
we like
trust us, we're comfortable in this atmosphere with
is
literally no
super chill.
fans. Yeah, exactly.
Guys, we're like it with no one pays attention. All right, it is wild they won that Super Bowl. Just Brady won,
And
it
at
just
home
happened,
too,
I know.
which is crazy.
Yeah, the first time.
Didn't
We're
the
talking about-
Rams win at home too?
Oh yeah, what it was, but it never happened. Then it happened 2 years. In a
Yeah,
row,
that's
right?
crazy.
It's crazy. What are the odds of that?
Saints not doing it this year.
No. Spencer Rattler, your guy.
Yeah.
Ravens at the Browns. Yuck.
Ravens at the Browns. Dude, the Ravens, very good.
Yeah.
Come with us for fans of Philly. Could
Yeah,
be
go
a
see
Super
the
Bowl preview.
Best team in
Do you think
football.
they'll flex it to Monday? Late in the season, big time game.
Oh,
I know. I know.
no.
I was texting with someone
Elliott.
about
No.
that. I know.
We got to look
Um,
at that week. What other games there are?
Yeah. but it's just something to consider.
I hate that they could do that.
I agree. I don't think they should be allowed to.
I think it's not. I think it's
Yeah.
honestly.
I'm mostly normally.
I think it's a disgrace.
Yeah, I think it's
like I have no problem
unfair.
with flexing a Sunday night. Like,
Yeah,
stuff
I think it's unfair to.
I think it's a disgrace.
I agree.
I really do.
I mean, Ravens minus 12.
8.5. I would have thought it'd be higher too. I will take the Ravens.
Although they might have upgraded at quarterback, the Browns.
with Jameis.
Yeah.
They probably did. I'll still take the Browns minus 8.5. I mean, the Ravens,
I'm going to take the Browns.
Ravens. Whoa!
I think they're going to get some juice with Jameis. Their defense isn't.
They have. You know what's funny is the Browns have covered the last 2 weeks.
Right. And like now the Ravens did just blow the Bucs out, but the Ravens have played close games this year.
Yeah. I'll just lay the points.
All right.
I can't do the Bucs, but you're right with the Browns.
Picking the Browns is dumb. Like the Ravens are way better, but I'm going to do it.
Packers at Jags.
Packers at Jags. Doug survived.
He did. He made it back to
He
America.
He made it back.
Miracle.
It would be funny if he just lived in London. If he was like, all right,
They
you're firing
stink.
me.
They are bad.
They're bad.
team.
Agreed. Say the team they're playing again.
They're playing the Jags in Jax.
No, who is though?
Packers.
Packers. Okay. Packers minus 6.5.
4.5.
Been high this week.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take the Packers.
I will too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
This might be a parlay.
I think it might be
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5.
Yeah.
Feels like that's a good one there. All right. Colts at the Texans. Yeah, this week is not a barn.
Yeah.
burner.
I mean, it is a divisional game, but Texans minus 7.
5.5. You've been high, I think, on every.
I know I have. Are we going Texans here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
parlay
maybe.
in Houston.
I think they're way better than the Colts.
I do too. In
Especially with
Houston?
Anthony Richardson. If Flacco were playing, it might be a different.
Right.
In
Yeah.
Houston. I think it's a parlay.
I think it's a parlay.
Okay, good. All right. Ew. Jets and Patriots. Jets season on the brink.
Dude, it's so
I would-
funny. It is so funny they traded for Devontae Adams.
Honestly,
and they
other than
still
the
lost.
Eagles winning this week, I want an upset of the Patriots being the Jets.
I
It's the single thing.
there
I
is
want
no
most.
team in the league I'm rooting on their downfall
Yeah.
more than the Jets.
Yeah.
By the way,
Plus,
did
you
you
don't
see
have to worry about having picked them for the Super Bowl
right?
this year.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you see the Mike Tomlin quote where they were like, going to Russell Wilson was probably one of the biggest risks you've made or whatever, and he was like, "So I get paid the big bucks." Or something like that. It was such a
Love
good
What
quote.
a king.
Jets minus. I think this is probably going to be low. I'll probably compensate more since I've been going high. But Jets minus 5.
7. You should have gone high.
I knew it. I'll take them.
I'm gonna take the Patriots. I think the Jets win, but
All right, I'll
points.
ride on you with that.
Too many
I'll ride.
points. You know what? The
I'll
Patriots
ride
are
with
really
you on
bad,
that one.
and they're coming back from London. Actually, never mind. I'll go Jets.
The Jets suck, man.
I know
They have a bad coach.
the Patriots are.
Aaron
really
Rodgers
bad.
been bad this year.
All right, let's roll Patriots.
Yeah.
I'll do it with you. Why
At least
not?
we'll go down.
We'll go down together.
Right.
All right, Eagles and Bengals. We're both taking the Eagles. I'm assuming.
I'm not sure who I'm taking yet. I mean, we're talking about the line. The line's what?
2.5. So you're
Yeah,
either picking
I'm
to
not
win or
sure I'm
not.
picking yet.
All right, you want me to do it at the end? You want to hold off? Will that
I'm
make a
going to
difference?
decide on Saturday.
Okay, so you're just not gonna pick. The
Yeah, I'm
Eagles
not
in the
going to
part.
pick on this one.
Wow. That's.
I mean, I would just say like bet the Eagles.
You
It's
always
2.5.
say-
Like,
I'm
what,
taking. I'm
what are we
officially-
proving here?
I'm officially taking the Eagles.
I'll take
Official.
the Eagles too,
Okay.
but I'm going to make my official like who I
Okay.
think's going to win.
I get
pick.
it. Oh, so I get it. So the pregame show is more important.
No, I'm going to do it on Go Birds with you on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the pregame.
The reason
show.
I'm
Like,
taking a
that's-
9:30 at night flight.
Okay,
to
no, I'm good
Cincinnati.
with that. All right.
Yeah.
I rescind my pick. I'll make it on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah.
How about this one? Titans at the Lions.
Lions minus 9.
11. Now you're going too low.
Yeah, well now I'm compensating.
I mean, you got.
I'll take the Lions,
right?
yeah. Now they are missing James.
we won't put it in the parlay, but
Yeah.
in
In Detroit though, I don't know. I kind of might.
maybe
It's a lot of points, but
it's 11 points, but they'll
Yeah.
probably dominate them.
Yeah,
I think
right.
they will, and they're a team that pours it on too.
Yep.
As we saw in Dallas. All right, we're gonna get to the 405 games in a sec. Download the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app. I mean, what are you doing here? You're listening to this pod. We're winning money for like the first time in the history of this podcast. We're winning money. What better time to hop on board with us? Now that I said that, maybe don't, but definitely get on the BetParx app. Maybe don't take our picks, but if you don't feel comfortable with that, have some freaking fun. It's so much fun. Think about this crew: Mike Quick, Seth Jordan, Jody Mack, Rob Ellis, Joe Conklin, and us. What a crew. That's the BetParx official lineup, the official sportsbook and online casino, the Go Birds podcast, the only one we care about, the only one we use, the only one we recommend. Birds 2.5-point underdogs in Cincy this weekend. You have more in the game: bet player, touchdowns, receiving yards, rushing yards, interception, sacks, all the good stuff. Bet on every game on the slate. We're going to pick every game on the slate. bet our parlay with us. In addition, while you're watching these games, maybe after the Birds game, you're hanging out watching football, bang! You have an online casino right in your hand. You can play live dealer, blackjack, craps, roulette, and so much more while watching the games. Bet on your favorite sports and win some money on the casino app. This is like the best possible thing you could have in your hand at all times. The BetParks Casino and Sportsbook app is a blast. It's so much fun. It's intuitive. It's easy to use. And here's a great deal. New users, if you download the BetParks online casino app right now, you get up to $1,000. Yes, up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Listen to this. Again, $1,000. Amazing. Casino bonus must be wagered. See betparks.com for the details. You must be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, and Maryland, or Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, Elliot, 4 o'clock games. This one's all right. You know, as far as this week's goes, this is a decent one. Bills at the Seahawks.
Bills at the Seahawks. Bills minus 6. God.
3.
It's funny because I just said I had such a good feel.
Well,
on
it's
the
also funny, dude, because like you're like normally you'll miss by like a point and a half, but you're
I know, I'm just I'm 2-3 off. Yeah. Yeah. It's
you're
tough.
like almost the same amount off on every one. You're either too high or too low, like literally 2.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yes, minus 3, the Bills in Seattle.
I mean the Bills minus 3. This is a parlay game for me.
Really? In Seattle?
Dude, the Bills, I think they're way better.
I think they are too, but just because you're way better doesn't mean you win every.
I agree.
Otherwise, teams
But like
go
DK
undefeated.
Metcalf might not play.
That's true, which is big.
It's a weird line to me. It might actually be a Seattle line.
That's what I'm worried about. So I like the Bills. I'm just saying I'm not sure about the parlay.
Yeah, it's fair. It's a Seattle line.
All right.
Yeah.
Saints at the Chargers. Yeah.
Saints at the Chargers.
Looks like Spencer Rattler. Still playing.
Yeah. Justin Herbert, man. Anti-Jalen. Really just is the anti-Jalen.
Who could have thunk it?
It's funny.
Who could have said it for freaking years?
I've been on it with you. Yeah. I think he's a bit of the exception in a way, but yes, I mostly agree.
All the freaking dorks.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert is the best quarterback in football. He's like top 4 on every list for like the last 5 years.
I know, and he never
you
wins.
Were wrong!
He never wins. It's wild.
How do you lose to the Cardinals?
Well, to be fair, Gannon's pretty good. But who they playing? Who they playing?
They're playing the Saints at home.
Dude, if he loses this game, Chargers minus 5.5.
It's 7.5.
God.
Honestly, I don't blame you for that one. Like, I don't know what to do because I took the Saints last.
Did the Chargers ever blow anybody out?
That's my point. The Broncos line was way too high. So I took the Saints and they got destroyed by the Broncos. So I'm throwing out. But they got a week and a half. I'm going to take the Saints. 7.5 is too many points. I'm going to go down with the Saints chip twice in a row.
All right, yeah. I'll do that with you.
Chargers can't be a 7 point.
I agree.
Okay. Ew. Every time I look at a game, I'm like,
yeah, you're not in
gross. Panthers at Broncos. I mean, these are horrible football games.
They are. Panthers at Broncos. Broncos minus. I'm afraid to guess at this point. 7.5.
9.
God,
pretty close.
Yeah, closer. I'll take the Broncos.
I will.
I just don't think the Panthers will
I
score
will too.
a point.
I think the Panthers, I think the Panthers are.
Broncos defense is legit.
Panthers might win one game.
Yeah,
like it might be the one game.
Yeah.
All right.
And it'll cost them the #1 pick.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
All right. We have 4 more games. 2 are solid. 2 are not. Let's start with one of the solid ones. Bears at Washington. Now this is up in the air. If Jaden Daniels plays, what a fun game.
Yeah.
If it's not,
bad thing to
don't
flex.
really care as much.
Yeah.
Hey. Whoops.
So,
by the way, thank you, NFL.
I know
for looking after you. The Jags game at 4 o'clock.
Jags at 4.
Like,
yeah, working out well.
Almost.
It's all
like,
coming up, James.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. That's all I'm saying. You know? My close friends, the schedule makers.
So I do kind of think this has a little bit of a potential of like Mariota wins this, and this is a coaching staff thing, and the Washington's a good team.
I will say Mariota looked good.
Yeah, like they still scored 40 points.
I was like, what is good? I watched a lot of that.
Right.
You know, I was like, what is happening? You're like, this guy couldn't throw the ball last year with us.
Right.
He was like throwing dimes.
All right.
You really hated it here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you did. I'm gonna go with the line of Bears -4.
Bears -2.
Okay.
Which I think is a Mariota line.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think if Jaden Daniels, if they thought Jaden Daniels was playing, Washington would be a favorite.
Yes. I'm gonna take the Bears.
I will too.
Yeah.
I can't bet on.
I just don't think a full game of Mariota.
I just can't.
It's one thing to come off the bench. It's another.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. All right. We didn't mention this. We got Chiefs Raiders coming up next year. Chiefs at Raiders. DeAndre Hopkins going to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I like it.
Sure.
trade?
He could be cooked.
Yeah,
Could be
gave
not.
up basically nothing.
Why
Yeah.
not? No brainer.
Who the Chiefs playing again?
The Raiders in Vegas.
Chiefs -6.
Chiefs are somehow a 10-point
Wow.
And the Raiders are bad.
The Raiders are bad. I mean, the Chiefs
The
don't blow.
Raiders are kind of
Yeah.
I mean, they only lost by 5.
Yeah.
I'm definitely taking the 10.
I'll take the 10.
It
I
feels
agree.
like too many
I'll take
points.
the 10.
All right. Last good game of the week. This is a fun one on Sunday night. Now, kind of like a must win for both these teams. It's not. But we have the 3-3 Dallas Cowboys against the 3-4 San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. I don't think they thought this would be the game of the week when
how about
yeah,
the Niners could be 3-5. The Cowboys could be 3-4.
I would also like to say I will not pick the Eagles to win in Dallas until they win in Dallas.
Oh, I like
I'm just
that.
putting people just so people know now, like
people.
yes, like doesn't mean I think they're better, but I'm gonna take I think I'm gonna take the Niners
-4.5 it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were picking.
I was gonna say 2 to be fair.
Okay,
just
good.
so you know.
That was my fault. I thought you were like picking.
No, yeah.
My bad.
I'll take the Cowboys with the points.
I don't know what to do here. Cowboys coming off a
Dude,
bye.
they're not gonna have Ayuk like.
Feels like a Niners line. I'll take the Niners.
All right.
Giants and Steelers.
Yeah. I saw someone say they should trade Devontae Adams to the Giants so he loses to the Steelers 3 weeks.
Pretty
in a row.
funny.
Yeah. Who the Giants? The Steelers.
Giants at Steelers.
Right. Steelers -7.
6.5. We ended on a straw. We'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take it. Not your best week.
I'll take the Steelers.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. All right. So let's go through into the parlay. Like we forgot to do last
Right.
week. Should we do it again just because we won it on the radio show?
Yeah,
we should
pick it on Saturday. No, we should pick it.
We should pick it. This is a fun
I
thought.
would be interested in the Steelers. Prime time.
Wait till Monday night.
Daniel Jones never wins.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean,
We have to wait till Monday, but that's fine. I mean,
yeah, I'm interested in that one. So
okay. We really like the Lions -11.
yeah, I really like that one.
We like
What was the Panthers one?
Panthers.
No, I don't know if I wanted.
Panthers.
It was Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos
It's a lot of
-9.
points, but
That's a
like
lot of points.
honestly, the Panthers might not score 10 points.
That's
like,
true. We like the Texans -5.5.
I like that one,
I
yeah.
really like that one. So let's go with that. We want 5.5. We like the Packers -4.5 in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I like that one. Let's not overthink it here.
Okay.
3.
And then the
I think
Lions.
yeah.
-11. We're doing 3 just lines.
Yep.
Plus 586.
Can we do it again?
Can we do it
The
again?
world may never
Can
know.
the miracle streak continue?
Yes.
All right, let's get to final thought.
I don't know if I have another one.
Okay.
All right, you go first.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull mine up. Which one? I have multiple I got to choose from. That's how locked in I've been lately. No big deal to me. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Oh, I do have one.
Okay, I'm gonna go with one that I'm stealing. Spike. I think one of the things that Spike is great at. He did it with the jigsaw as always. Spike is really good at finding two things and making it really hard to choose between the two. Like the jigsaw thing, like whatever they are, they're usually horrible things. Like would you rather not be able to hear or see or whatever? But like the afternoon show had a poll, and I'm assuming Spike came up, but I don't know. But would you rather be, if you could be great at one of these two things, what would you choose?
Okay.
A great dancer or a great singer?
Singer.
Okay, so this is
I
why I
don't even
brought
think it's close.
So this is why I brought this up, because I think that is asinine. I think it is so far and away a great dancer. Like this is
Really?
like, and
Why?
singer won the poll, and that's why I thought about this, and I want to bring it here because like you're not going to become a professional singer right now, right? Like most likely.
Yes, I would agree.
Right. So what is more useful in your life? Like what do you do more? Do you dance or do you sing? You dance.
You dance. I agree.
And there are way more opportunities to show off what a good dancer you are than there are to show off what a good singer you are. Like, this is such a no-brainer to be a great dancer. Every time you're at a wedding, every time you're out, every time music comes on, you just be like, bang, and people are like, look at that dude.
Okay,
Whoa.
but first of
There's
all,
a singer thing, like, you have to, like, force your way into singing for people and be like, hold on, I'm a great singer. Let me sing for you. Or you go to, like,
first of all, one is far more lucrative. Like, if you're a great singer.
But
you're saying if you're great at it. Like, if you could pick to be.
everyday life.
No,
like,
but I think the question is implying, like, you are great at it, right? Like you are one of the, not best in the world.
No, I
like,
think it implies that you're great at it, but you could be a great singer. Like, there are million great singers in the world who are not famous.
But I guess like
the point is there's so many, they're opera singers, they're this, they're that. There's so many people who are
you
great
can also
singers
learn
who
to
don't
dance.
make good money off.
Right. You can also learn to
Dancing,
dance way easier than you can.
But
sing.
if this is, forget the learning. Like the point is like, and not just that. No, you can learn how to dance. You can never be coordinated. You can never like have the the smoothness. Like I will never be a truly.
I think
great
if I
dancer.
took 6 months, I would.
Well, you're
be
very
offended.
confident
I'm
in
already a good dancer. Like I can only imagine if I took 6 months.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
it's the truth. I already have great rhythm.
I think the answer to this is great dancer. I don't even think it's like a discussable thing.
Interesting.
It is.
I feel
great dancing is so.
But
much
I also
more
think it's so awkward when people like
in your life.
when you're at like a wedding and it's like, look at this guy like showing off well he can dance. Like, oh, cool,
you
bro.
can show off, just dance. People notice.
Yeah, but if you're not gonna use it for like,
or you're just gonna dance. You don't
I just think it'd be so much more impressive
people.
to sing.
Nah, great dancer is so much cooler.
All right, fair enough.
Anyone can sing.
All right,
not anyone can dance.
I think it is time, is like a society, for us to step up to big airplane, big airport, and like time to make cell phones work on planes. Like, what are we doing here? You're telling me we don't have the technology to make a cell phone work on the plane?
No,
like,
clearly,
let's be real here. Yes,
yeah.
right. Like, it doesn't impact the plane, and I know we have a listener who's a pilot, so I'd be curious to hear his perspective.
Yeah. That's actually an interesting thought.
But like, it's clearly just so they can charge us for the Wi-Fi. Like, what other reason is there for cell phones not to work anymore? I guess maybe to your point, taking calls. Like, you don't want people doing that. But I always assumed we have to have the technology to make it work.
Yeah, I agree. I think I always assumed it had to do with I
always thought if you had your airplane mode on or not on, it would like the plane would like go down.
No. So,
like because of like the
connecting.
That's what I'm saying.
Like talking to the people in the tower and all those.
Yeah, like it would throw everything off. Yeah.
But yes, we are way past that.
Yeah, like it's time to make cell phones work on planes.
I agree. I think cell phones do work on planes, and I think it is a bastion of.
Well, I don't think it works. I'd be curious to know. I'm too afraid to do it.
I've never done it, but you could definitely work. Your cell phone.
You think you could like scroll?
Of course it would. Yeah, your phone.
All right, well then it's time to allow it.
Yeah, you got to allow it.
Okay.
Like it is a great take by you.
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
And we all just accept it. I have to pay $15 for Wi-Fi. Like
I just don't pay for it, but
I do every time.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah. Well, I can expense it.
Bring a book. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
If you had to pay for it, would yourself?
Yeah, I would still do it.
Oh, wow, really?
Without question.
Oh, I would.
No, literally no question. Yeah. In fact, I like
to be like excluded from the world for a bit.
Yeah, until like something with the Eagles happens, and then
that's
I
your
land.
job.
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah. And I like texting.
You do like texting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't get away from it.
I agree. Yeah.
Take a break.
Nah.
I've been texting a lot lately.
Yeah, you have.
I've been really trying to like check out of my phone for the second half of the day.
I've
like locked in the morning. I respond to this and that, but then when I get home, like I'm really trying to be like, you know what?
Good.
I need a break from my
Yeah, no, I think it's good.
So
yeah.
You're like, I would never.
Yeah, I need to be better at it.
Yeah. I'm really trying. I feel like I've been doing a good job.
It's good effort.
So if you're out there and you haven't gotten this many texts from me, that's purposeful. It's nothing personal. It's purposeful.
I like that phrase.
Thank you. That was pretty good.
That's like Jalen phrase. It's not personal. It's purposeful.
It popped in. I was like,
that's really good.
Thank you.
I kind of want to tell it to
I
Jalen.
I know. It's really good.
It'd be funny if I got that in a question somehow. Like, see if he commented.
Yeah. I'd be like, yo, I like that phrase.
Yeah. Or like, Jalen, when you talk about Nick, is it personal or purposeful?
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah. All right. Love it.
All right.
Saturday, 1 to 3. We might have another prize to give away. We'll find out. That was pretty cool. So we'll see how that plays out. But either way, check us out 1 to 3 on Saturday. WIP.
Boom.
He's Eliot James.